You may be into punk rock, soft rock, or classic rock, R&B, hip-hop, or house, country, techno, or techno-country. But no matter what kind of music you listen to, here's something else you should hear. Please consider getting vaccinated. Talk to your pharmacist today about Comirnaty, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA. This message brought to you by BioNTech and Pfizer.
Did you know that doctors use Mucinex? That's right. Mucinex is the #1 OTC brand doctors trust for themselves and their families. When you have cough and chest congestion, you need a medicine that's effective and long-lasting. So with cold and flu season upon us, why would you use anything else? Mucinex 12-hour DM extended-release bilayer tablets allow for immediate and extended relief, relieving cough and chest congestion for 12 hours. Grab Mucinex and put yourself back in control. Use as directed.
WINS, WNEWHD3 New York.
An Odyssey station. 10-10 wind AccuWeather says brisk, cold tonight, clear sky, low 26. The real feels will be in the teens. Tomorrow, chilly, becoming windy with a mix of clouds and sun. We might see some snow showers in the afternoon, especially north and west of the city. Sunday, sunny, high 37. Monday, President's Day, sunny to partly cloudy, much milder, high 54. It's 37 degrees now. We are going down to 26. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Zachary Newman, our service aide. Walter Geis is writing. Oliver Sampson at the editor's desk. I'm Lori Madden.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds, New York.
Good evening. Clear skies and 37 degrees at 6 o'clock. I'm Larry Mullins, and here's what's happening on this Friday night. President Biden says as much as he'd like to see Russia de-escalate things, he's convinced that Vladimir Putin is preparing a strike.
We believe that they will target Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, a city of 2.8 million innocent people.
But the president says have no illusions. The U.S. and its allies will not stand by and watch, promising support but stopping short of military power. Back here, Mayor Adams says this isn't about arresting people, it's about arresting the problem. The mayor and the governor with a plan for making the subways safer and getting help for homeless people. The father of a TikTok influencer explaining why he opened fire and killed an intruder allegedly stalking his daughter, plus the popular loophole which seemingly prevents him from ever facing charges over it. If you missed out on buying a pair of Michael Jordan skivvies or his basketball or his jersey at auction, maybe you'd like a half-smoked stogie, which came off his lips. Study which says post-pandemic, more and more office workers are in the mood for love with each other under the boss's nose. 10-10 wind AccuWeather, clear, breezy, and cold tonight. We'll dip down to a low of 28 degrees. Winds news time 6:01. And from the traffic center tonight, here is Jody Vale.
And Larry, let's check out the Jersey Friday night jam. There's a crash on the Turnpike Eastern Spur. This is northbound, right near 15E 109, and that left lane and shoulder is blocked right now. There's a stall in the Garden State, northbound, north of exit 136 for Stiles Street. Yeah, that center lane blocked off. More delays on the Parkway northbound between 145 and 153. And in Newark, we have a crash on Route 21 northbound 280. That's just stop and go from Raymond Boulevard. In Paramount, there's another crash. Route 17 southbound Fairview Avenue. Stop and go from Route 4. 1 and 9 northbound near 78, all jammed up. And here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Outbound at the GWB, it's getting a little better. We're now down to an hour wait from the Cross Bronx and Harlem River Drive. GWB lower level inbound, that's a 30-minute delay. And the outbound Lincoln and Holland, we're looking at about 45 to 60 minutes. Inbound Holland is about 30 minutes. That's a stall vehicle being cleared. Odyssey Lottery recap presented by Jackpocket. Powerball is now 31 million and Mega Millions now 64 million. Play Powerball and Mega Millions on your phone using the Jackpot. Make that the Jackpocket app. Must be 18 or older to play. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes on the one. I'm Jody Dale on 1010 Winds.
Thank you, Jody. It's the weekend, and old man winter took a little break, gave us a few mild days and nights. Wasn't that nice? But the hawk is once again flying tonight. AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson here now to tell us how low is he flying, Brian?
Yeah, we're going to get down into the 20s tonight, Larry. We're going to see real field temperatures get down into the teens as well. And the wind will diminish a little bit tonight, but it'll pick back up tomorrow. And we're going to have a line of some snow showers cross through the area. It looks like heading into the midday and afternoon hours. Could be a coating of snow in some far northern and western suburbs. And any of these heavier snow showers could reduce visibility as they move through tomorrow. Temperatures will be close to 40. Sunday looks like a sunny day, but kind of chilly. Highs will be in the 30s. And then President's Day Monday looks much milder, up into the 50s with sunshine. Larry?
Thank you, Brian. To the president now. And in the live broadcast to the nation heard here on 1010 Wins, President Biden says while he still hopes the threat of punishing sanctions can convince Vladimir Putin to behave himself, he thinks Putin has already made up his mind to go after Ukraine. Correspondent Stephen Portnoy is in Washington tonight.
As he eyes the continued buildup of Russian forces and what the U.S. calls false flag attacks in eastern Ukraine, President Biden says he's seen and heard enough.
As of this moment, I'm convinced he's made the decision.
Mr. Biden says Vladimir Putin could order an invasion of Ukraine within days. But the president says Moscow could still choose a diplomatic off-ramp. And if not,
They will have chosen a war, and they will pay a steep price for doing so.
rather than heading for his home in Delaware, Mr. Biden will spend the weekend here monitoring developments.
Biden held virtual meetings today with NATO and some of our allies. He says that's to prove to the world that all parties are in lockstep. Stay with 1010 Wins and 1010wins.com throughout the weekend for any additional developments. Back here, Mayor Eric Adams says New Yorkers must feel safe getting on subways and buses in the city. And with that, he and the governor today rolled out a new subway safety plan designed to achieve just that. Here's Carol DeOria tonight.
The mayor's subway plan is really a plan to tackle the homeless problem. He said teams will go into the subway system and look for them, and they will be removed by police officers who will accompany the teams.
The system is not made to be housing. It's made to be transportation. And we have to return back to that basic philosophy. If someone is in physical, emotional distress, we can't leave them on the train.
The mayor said they won't simply be removed to shelters, but will be put in places for their specific needs. Governor Hochul promised more mental health beds, and there will be involuntary commitment to hospitals where necessary. Joining them was Shams DeBaron, a formerly homeless man who likes the plan.
I'm the guy that was on the train, that slept on all of those trains. I'm the guy that deals with mental illness, that had a serious drinking problem. And to see that the city has taken an approach that addresses those needs for my fellow brothers and sisters who I care so deeply for, I am so overwhelmed.
Carol DeOria, 1010 Wins at the Fulton Street subway station.
The mayor says they're not trying to be heavy-handed. They're not out to arrest people. They're out to arrest the problem. Some healthcare workers in New York getting a reprieve tonight. The state health department announcing today the state will not be enforcing the mandate requiring healthcare workers to get a booster shot. Health Commissioner Mary Bassett says while many of the workers have already been boosted, the reality is removing those who haven't would create staffing issues in the already overworked healthcare system. Governor Hochul had ordered the mandate last month in an effort to combat the rise in breakthrough infections. In the wake of the decision not to enforce it, healthcare workers will still need to be fully vaxxed, but will not face a penalty if they haven't gotten a booster. Ready for prime time? Seems everybody is, but are you ready to pay more for it when it comes to Amazon? Here's Diane King Hall.
Get ready to pay more for your Amazon Prime account starting today. New subscribers will have to fork over $139 for an annual subscription. If you pay monthly, the cost will rise to almost $15 a month, but the Prime student membership is only increasing $1 to $7.49 a month. Existing Prime members will see the price increase beginning in March.
By the way, the price hike doesn't include any new features. Analysts say the penny pinch is due to Amazon's rising operational costs. Meantime, Amazon also dealing with rising tensions. Down at the company's offices in New York, it's not a question of whether to form a more perfect union. It's a vote over whether to form a union at all. The battle to unionize Amazon workers intensifies after labor officials officially set a March date for a union vote. The in-person vote is set for sometime between March 25th and the 30th. The National Labor Relations Board says the ballot count will be tallied on March the 31st. Meantime, Amazon workers at a facility in Bessemer, Alabama, voting by mail. This is their second time at it. The voting started February 4th, wraps up on March the 25th. Amazon has said, we want to hear from our workers. We want to talk to them. We just don't want to do it through a collective bargaining unit. Well, it's no secret the labor force is hurting in the wake of the pandemic and, in fact, experiencing its slowest recovery since the recessions of WW2. Wallet Hub released a report then on the states that are having the most problems, hiring people, that is. Well, it says here, New York City is ranked 4th in having the least struggles while with hiring in the country. We're rated at 5.57%, 5.57. By comparison, New Jersey and Pennsylvania are ranked at numbers 22 and 8, respectively, on the list of states where it's hard to find somebody to work. Experts say the problem is this. They say the most difficult jobs to fill are the ones which require a lot of skill, which most people lack, or the job doesn't pay worth a darn. And then there's organized poaching, where an employer will entice a worker who gets paid peanuts to come and join his or her ranks for a few more dollars. Analysts say the best thing to do is for the bosses to find out what people want and then try to supply it, period. If not, see ya. Coming up on 1010 Wins.
There was no second guessing. There was no time to rethink my actions. I reacted.
We'll hear from the father of a young TikTok star explaining why he shot and killed a guy who not only stalked his daughter, but allegedly showed up at their house, packing heat. When's news time? 6:09.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-345-2789. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-345-2789. 800-345-2789.
When's news time? 6:10. Traffic and AccuWeather is next.
There's a new primetime host on Fox News Channel at 7 p.m. Eastern. What does Tucker Carlson think about him?
He knows you. He knows what you care about.
Laura Ingraham?
This job is not for the faint of heart.
Sean Hannity?
He's grown up here. He connects with people on a different level.
Jesse Waters? Are you ready?
It's going to be a wild ride, I guarantee it.
Jesse Waters is in primetime because common sense makes sense. Weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox News Channel. I'm not saying you have to love football. We all have different likes and dislikes, people. Personally, I'm not a fan of the avocado. I just don't like the mouth. But if you're someone who loves football, I mean, truly loves it well, my sportsbook app might be the greatest thing that has ever happened to you.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
News time 6:11 from the traffic center tonight. Here again is Jody Vale.
And Larry, let's go to Westchester and the Bronx. We're seeing a stall being cleared cross-county eastbound right near exit 8, but there are plenty of jam-ups. And more northbound Hutch slams at the cross-county and off to the cross Westchester. New England Thruway is a little better, and the DuckDuckGo route you can trust. Southbound Bronx River, Yonkers Avenue, we have another crash being cleared. Bruckner, Deegan, Cross Bronx, they are loaded up both ways. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Outbound at the George, it's looking a little better, an hour wait from the Cross Bronx and also Harlem Riverside. Believe me, that's better. Inbound at the George, about a 30-minute wait. Outbound Lincoln is about 60 minutes. Outbound Holland, about 45 to 60. Inbound, we're looking at a 30-minute wait. And traffic is sponsored by Exogen Thermometers. Accuracy matters. Exogen agrees with a just-released study by the FDA confirming that non-contact thermometers are inaccurate, but their labels contain false information. Be sure, be accurate with Exogen Thermometers backed by over 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exogen.com. Jody Dale, next report at 6:21 on 1010 Wins.
Joe, and now the 1010 Wins AccuWeather 4-day forecast. Here's meteorologist Brian Thompson with this live report.
And Larry, it's going to continue to be a brisk evening. We'll continue to see some wind gusts up around 25, 30 miles per hour, at least early on tonight. But the wind will diminish a little bit later on. We'll drop to a low of 26 under a mainly clear sky. Tomorrow, it will turn windy again into the afternoon. We'll have intervals clouds and sunshine. Now, there will be a snow shower in many areas at some point during the afternoon. That could coat the ground in some far northern and western suburbs, and any heavy snow shower moving across the area could reduce visibility quite a bit for at least a short period of time. A high of 41 tomorrow. Real field temps will be in the 20s in the afternoon. Now, the wind will diminish tomorrow night. Mostly clear, low 22 in the city, teens in the suburbs. Mostly sunny for Sunday and then into President's Day Monday. High 37 Sunday, but much milder Monday up to 54. We'll keep the mild weather going into Tuesday, but we'll have more clouds and some rain at times with a high of 56. 34 degrees right now. It's clear in Central Park. Humidity 29%. And we have a northwest wind gusting to 21 miles per hour. Again, we're at 34 and going down to 26 in Midtown. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brian Thompson on New York's weather station, 1010 WIN.
Well, first it was the guy's underwear, then his shirts, and now an auction house offering up Michael Jordan's cigar for auction. Leland specializes in sports memorabilia, says the cigar was snagged by a lady who met the former NBA star at a resort out in Arizona last fall. She asked him for a picture, in which case he put down his cigar, snapped a quick picture, and went about his way. He left the cig behind. Well, Leland's description of the thing reads, the woman picked it up, and here we are. A half-smoked stogie. It's an $8 to $14 job, a Milanio, whatever that is. I don't do cigars, but anyway, it had a starting bid, however, of $500 when the auction opened yesterday, so no telling what it is right now. We're back in a moment. When's news time? 6:14.
Hey, New York City business owners, stop overpaying for internet and phones. Switch to Spectrum Business and get New York City's best deal for small businesses. Get blazing fast internet speeds of 600 megabits per second for just $49.99 a month, and phone for just $19.99 a month. Taxes and fees included. That's faster internet at an incredible price. Other providers don't even come close. Make the switch to Spectrum Business. Visit business.spectrum.com/ultra.
Family, friends, work, school. If things still don't feel quite right to you these days, you're not alone. If you're feeling uncertain, stressed, or just kind of overwhelmed, New York Project Hope can help. Take a look at our website, nyprojecthope.org. There's lots to read and plenty of helpful resources. You can even click to talk with one of our trained crisis counselors. Whatever works for you. It's all confidential and free. nyprojecthope.org.
When's news time? 6:15. From Florida, a teenager, arguably a huge TikTok social media star, explaining how and why her father fatally shot a guy. The dad explains at least. The guy allegedly showed up at their house with guns flaring.
I had to do what I had to do to protect my family.
Ava says what started as a pandemic hobby turned into a lucrative business. Her TikTok account garnering 1.2 million followers.
This is such a dream for multiple kids.
On July 10th, Ava's parents say her stalker showed up to their house with a shotgun, throwing up over their front door. Rob Majuri says he grabbed his own gun and shot the intruder.
There was no time to rethink my actions.
Majuri says authorities have told him that he's protected by Florida's Stand Your Ground law, and he's not been charged with any crime.
That's Janae Norman. Majuri, who was then 13, the young lady, created the account in 2020, attracted a huge following by sharing videos of herself dancing and lip-syncing to trendy music. A new survey says 33% of U.S. workers currently, or at least have been, involved in a hot romance at the office. That's 6% higher than before the pandemic. Half reported they'd had a crush on a coworker, going to extremes to make contact, like this scene from The Office.
Pam, I can now admit in front of friends and family that I do know how to make a photocopy. I didn't need your help that many times.
Aw, you were just saying that to get close. Ooh, during the past few years, folks have spent more time isolated than together. So they're looking for meaningful connections, so says Johnny Taylor Jr. He's the guy who's the president of SHRM, the organization that conducted this survey. Says there's nothing new about workplace romances until it comes to disclosure policies. Think former CNN boss Jeff Zucker, who recently resigned, remember, citing his undisclosed relationship with another office executive. A new study says if mom and dad had to keep getting up at night to put you back in bed, then it might explain why you're constantly counting sheep now as an adult. Bradley Blackburn explains.
How you sleep as an adult may be linked to your sleep in childhood. A Penn State study finds that children with insomnia often continue to have sleep problems into early adulthood. Researchers say it's important to address sleep issues during childhood and adolescence because poor sleep is linked to numerous health problems.
Not insomnia, that's the boogeyman under the bed. Are you kidding?